also at lunch?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, Lara, whenever you're ready, let me actually, before I say that, and then I don't have my timer up here on my screen. Whenever you start.
The FFA Creed by Ian Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture, with the faith born, not of words but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturalists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations, which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly, with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less independence of begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself. In less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends on me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
Thank you, Lara. I have a question for you. So, what do you think is the most important line in the FFA Creed to you, and why?
I think the most important line in the FFA Creed to me is when it says, through better days, through better ways. Because some days are going to be bad and some days are going to be good. And I believe that you should do better, like, for better days, there will be more I think there's some challenges to that too, because ranching and farming is harder than it looks, and when you have better days, then you can do better things, and your skill, like if you have the right mindset, you can achieve a lot.
Great, thank you. I'm going to jot some notes down here, and then I'll give you some feedback, and that'll be it, all right?
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing that. I know it's hard to do that in front of people and have to have it memorized, so good work on taking that risk. Couple of pieces of feedback to maybe help as you go and compete here soon. I think you have great enunciation. Your words are very clear and precise, and so that makes it easy to listen to, and you've got a good speaking voice that sounds very natural. I think one opportunity is to maybe vary your tone just a little bit more to try to make it feel more like a conversation, that you really believe these things rather than just knowing the words. So just a little bit. I don't think it has to be anything crazy. To add to that, and I think this is probably my number one piece of advice, is one of the areas that gets scored is the stage presence. And so I don't mind somebody staying in one spot. I don't even necessarily mind their hands being behind their back. But what are the ways that you can think about exuding some confidence and some attitude in that For some people, that's talking with their hands. For some people, it's just that I really believe as I'm making that eye contact with them that I really believe what they're saying is true. So think about if you really believe these words, what is that way that's going to feel most natural for you to really make the people sitting across from you think, oh, this girl really knows what she's saying and lives it out. And so for some people, that's walking around a little bit more. For some, it's talking more with their hands. It doesn't have to be any of those things, but I think if you can find that thing that's most natural to you, it will come out as being really believable. I would also encourage you to pause sometimes between some of your phrases. So it wasn't that you were talking really fast, it's that I had to actually look down, and I'm not keeping track of it word by word, but because I wasn't sure which phrase you were on, because some of your pauses, I think anytime you're changing paragraphs, if you can find a way to pause just a little bit, that can be really helpful to both for the person trying to track it, but also to really have some meaning for those pauses, even in some of the sentences themselves, like and to help make it so for others as well as myself, there's a dash in there on that one. Even just a little pause there can really emphasize the meaning. So finding some ways to really have a pause that is helpful for the judges to kind of let those words hit a little bit rather than just making sure they're the right words. Okay? And then answering the question at the end, I know you got kind of lost in the words there a little bit. It's okay to just pause and think about it a little bit more. I'd rather have that than, just kind of spiraling into some other words, because ultimately your answer is, you gave a great answer, and I was hoping you would go into that next part of the phrase, which is about even the better things we now enjoy have come from the struggles. You said ranching is hard, and I want, people need to know that. And so you started to go down that path. And so just always think, what's the point I want to make? What's an example that I can give to express that, and then finish up that point? Because usually the first and last thing that you say are often the things that are remembered. And so even if you get lost in an answer, whatever that last thing is that you can say can sometimes really stick with people. Okay? Sound good? You're welcome. Here's your comment